And we are in there, folks. Thanks for bearing with us on that slight delay. Had to get some servers sorted out, but we should be all good to run now. Evil Genius is taking on the Party Astronauts in a matchup between a lot of players who used to wear the EG colors all at the same time. Remember the blueprint?
Yeah.
Feels like it was so long ago. We're going to get an engagement here in Con early on, Box. And, ooh, my goodness, it's coming out well for EG.
The Automatic with those first two openers, but Ponalone answers back with a pair of his own. Automatic still stands tall, though, and ends it with a 4-piece. No bomb plant, only 2 kills for PA. And that is about as good of a start as you can get for the old guard on EG, for the veteran in this server. And that'll mean no force spy for the Party Astronauts in this round. They'll go Glocks, maybe a couple of upgraded pistols, P250s, flashbang here or there, but mostly a minimal investment from the T side, and an opportunity for EG to pad those bank accounts. The MP9s on 3, Junior remaining on the dual Berettas, saving for a big green gun. And on Overpass, you really want to get that out as soon as you can if you are the Opper. And through the fire and flames, PA run through in towards Playground. Nobody peeking, though, from EG. They don't want to get caught off guard by a Glock rush. And a wise decision is Junior, the only man up top bathroom, really the only guy proper A, aside from Automatic, who's still in Con. This is a opportunity for a bomb plant here for Party Astronauts.
Could be. Could be. I mean, with just Junior on the dualies, it does make it a little tough to actually hold them at bay. Gonna get some shots off, but they're trying to chase in towards bathrooms, right? They want to get this kill, they want to win this round, and in doing so, actually leave themselves a little bit vulnerable, but Junior does get run down eventually. Problem is he just did have those dualies, and now the cavalry is here. Party Astronauts misread this situation a little bit, dropped the bomb down the steps, and the window for a bomb plant, it has slammed shut on them. Look at the health, though. This isn't done just yet. Everybody's down around half health. The dualies from Ben could actually make some noise here, as strange as that sounds. The problem is that bomb being down the steps is just impossible to retrieve without util.
Yeah, Automatic down there with Walco as well. Jeorge keeping an eye on the A side proper. There's really no window in for Party Astronauts after that door was slammed on their fingers.
They're giving it up.
Yeah.
They're giving up the bomb.
Or wait, were they just trying to bait out a rotation?
No, they're trying to buy more time off the clock. 20 seconds, right? So they're saying, all right, they're going to have to make the move. Now they're going. But if Jeorge goes down, I mean, this could absolutely be a bomb plan. Automatic's even a little bit slow creeping up. Jeorge not going to entertain the possibility. There was a moment. That moment quickly dispelled.
Yeah, they don't book it in towards the site. They try and deal with Junior first, and that does cost them a bomb plant. Still 2 kills, not too bad, although one was just Junior on the dual Berettas and nothing else. He'll have an AUG instead of an AWP here, and so will Jeorge. I've been seeing a lot of these scoped rifles coming through in CS2, Mike. I'm loving it. I love those two. I love the Krieg and the AUG, and Junior, he can make good work with it. Jeorge as well. Crisp with the aim, as we saw in the last round, the last two. The bullseye up for Party Astronauts. 1 Galil for Chop. Riz takes a little bit of a singe as he crosses through that smoke, taking a bit to delay and pop open that smoke. But HexT goes down to that Galil early. The aggression out from EG gets punished first and foremost. They might have spotted Walco. 2 Automatic doubles up in Con, though, and that restores an advantage to the CT side.
He's been having a crispy start to this game. Obviously 4 in the pistol, and that was a nice little sequence to hold on to connector. Still, all the responsibilities on Junior's shoulders. He's pushed up aggressively into the bathrooms, deleted. Now they're in big trouble. There was no fallback. There was no support for him either. This is definitely a bomb plant. It's going to be very interesting into the post, because look at the positioning for Chop. Right, he's going to try and corral this connector rotation, see if he can catch the kill. And if he catches Walco off guard, well, then you're getting a little one-dimensional.
Does his old IGL expect the position up in Party, though? Ponalone is joined up with him. There's no way Walco gets out of this alive. Maybe one if he's lucky. Not even that. Chop only takes 1 shot in return. Jeorge and Automatic trying to come through with Automatic on 44 HP. The Molotov lands at the entrance to jump up. And they're just going to call it quits here and save these 2 guns. An abort on the round for EG. And Party Astronauts strike swiftly on the guns. A very good start by Chop. That double up with the Galil. And Junior getting caught out really solidified that round. that solo player alone in bathrooms.
Yeah.
No way out. No
One of
real
the things
damage.
I've noticed about Evil Geniuses over the course of the last, I mean, basically since the swapping of the new game, is they are one of the teams that has seemed to adapt to the mechanics the least. And it's kind of, there's a good example of it in that round, which is that Junior is holding, right? He's holding an angle in the bathrooms, totally stock still, no movement, no checking, no jiggling, no info. That's a death sentence in Counter-Strike 2. Right now, the guy peeking into you from the fighter just has such a massive advantage because of the way Pika's advantage is being handled right now, because of the way movement's being handled right now. So it's something I have noticed with the Evil Geniuses side is one of the reasons why they've been having a lot of trouble with some of their matchups recently. They just don't seem to be taking the initiative, initiating those fights, taking those fights. You saw it at the beginning of that round in Connector, right? Automatic got her done, but then they just had Junior stock still, and we'll see if that trend continues, because it is a concerning one. You do need to be adapting. You've seen pros get so much more rapid about the way they're holding things. I mean, even on land, it was noticeable in Sydney. You don't have players holding angles in the same way. Everyone's jiggling for information. Everyone's jiggling to initiate the fight. It's just it's a whole new world, man.
It's a hyper-aggressive world. That's a very astute observation, Mike, and it's a very good one, which really does show how EG lost that round. Just too static. Not proactive enough, like Walco
That's a
around the
good move.
pillar. That's exactly what you need to do. Swings for a pair, but he only gets the one. Bomb can move to the side of Spec, takes further control down the pit, clears it out, drops the molly, and automatic falls as well as alone. He's holding a more long-range angle with the AUG, but yeah, it's gotta be another save.
Again, I don't really understand that setup. They haven't really seen much. I guess they're clearing in towards Colin, but they go 4-1. Right?
Yeah.
They pull everybody off the site. It's just Walco. They don't have any information outside of B either. It's not like they had peeked Monster and seen that it was clear, or they had control in towards short, where you can sort of go into a 4-1. It's just a little bit ambitious on the stacking there. Kind of the reverse of what they'd done in the previous round, and Party Astronauts read it and exploit it.
Yeah, because they pushed water last round and they got punished for it, and this time just stack towards the opposite site and pay for it again. Just one kill opens up the bomb site. Wasn't even more than a 1-for-1-2. A 2-for-1 from Walco maybe gets EG away back into the round, but only one kill. It's not enough, and that's too much to put on one guy's shoulders in a game where multi-kills are so hard to come by. And look at their money now, Mike. It's shattered. You have the saved guns, but it's a dual Beretta pair on automatic. This is rough. It's going to be very hard for them to get anything done. Now they're stacking again. This time they're stacking B. Junior says it.
He is indeed aggressively postured again, holding an angle, eats the flash, gets caught. No presence on A. So far, this is uninspiring. Jeorge, though, on the boost up, will catch Prone alone. Seemed like PA was aware that that could be a possibility, but just a little bit awkward into the angle. Still, it shouldn't pose too much of a problem if they actually do just take the space towards A, which they are doing. Jeorge is the only big gun into the round at this point. Now as they gain the ground, as they smoke off the chokes. It shouldn't be very viable. Jeorge out, though. Gets one. Sets up Hex for the second. This is a problem now for PA. They've been caught in the open, and Specs down to 2 points. Chop's going to clear this out, but good luck here. Going for the bomb plant. So fortunate they don't have util. Oh, he comes off of it. Now the Molotov's actually an angle. HexT. Reads the spot wrong. Still, it's going to be about Chop. He's got to put in the work here. As they clear into his angles, unarmored opponent should be chewed through rather quickly. He's playing off his teammate's contact. That's not a bad idea. Waiting to hear the jumps. Walco's got the big gun. It's all about the tap here. Well played from Chop. Again, just giving them nothing for free. And Walco, no armor, has to take this fight. He knows it, but he's a dead man. No amount of Peaker's advantage is going to help you there. So a recovery for Party Astronauts. A round win still in their favor, but golly, did that look tenuous.
That was won by a thread. Chop pulls off a big play holding from long, and he does take advantage of the no armor on a couple of those opponents. Wins the fight pretty clean against Walco in the end. But PA now get a lead very early on in their map pick. 3-2 the score. A buy up again from EG. That was just EG on a save with a very meager investment of a pair of dualies. But Party Astronauts that off back in the hands of Pwn alone. He got shut down by that boost over towards B, but it's a 3-stack up lane. Bathroom side for EG this time. Not really peeking Fountain, just taking control and now huddling up a crossfire alongside Bath with one divider and Jeorge. 2 on the B side proper, Walco and HexT, but HexT is rather isolated. Walco still playing far back towards Graffiti. Party Astronauts are all set, ready to go once the smoke dissipates in Monster. Couple good mollies, a couple good kills can spell the end for EG here, and they've used most of their hold utility. In fact, most of the EG utility as a whole has been used up at the minute 10 mark. This flash from Pwn alone can end the day. Spec has another one prepped. In comes the utility, out goes the push, and HexT is not going to be too long. I say that, but he's able to get around that smoke, and combined with Walco for an opener, that smoke might have just stayed EG here's rotation to come through. HexT stands for another. Walco still around though, and time is ticking. Rotations are coming through, and Walco takes the position of his fallen comrade.
Yeah, nicely done. They're not going to expect a barrels player here, most likely. Player drops in. Spec not seeing anyone. Might actually be aware at this point, but yeah, there's Walco. Slippery as an eel, this one, and his opponent alone comes around. That's the bomb now dropped into his lap at this point. Reinforcements are here, so for Grizz, it might just be about damage. 6 health, but another kill comes out. 5 bullets in the gun. And shots galore. A little bit of an awkward look from Junior on the first, but we'll call that sub-tick.
Yeah.
All good. EG, big win. But the money, though. The money is tenuous for both sides now. No bomb plant means that this one's a tough choice for the Party Astronauts, but there's not good CT economy just yet, so you could see a forced buy justified here.
Almost like to see a timeout from PA just to figure out what they really want to go for, but looks like they're going to go for the blocks here. A more conservative economic strategy coming out from the T's. A little bit of utility around those Glocks, couple flashes, couple smokes and Molotov. Then up against the rifles and SMG of Evil Geniuses. That last round, though, is salvation for EG. Gives them a good chance now to build into this game, into this half, really. Instead of being down under the gun economically, they have a chance to build up. They have a chance to get some more rounds on the board, making this a respectable CT half. The blocks run in, and the MP9 stings for 2. Almost a third, but HexT shall fall. Should be the only victim, though, and the last alive. Mowed down, belabored by Jeorge and Walco together. And only one casualty, more than enough there for EG. But PA are going to be back on the buy. However, their utility's going to be a little lacking, Mike. Still going to be strained to get a buy up here.
It's not going to be great. And at this point, keeping that clean, EG have a lot more breathing room. Credits to them. They've shifted up the way the B-side defense goes. Keeping numbers onto it, having some more success with it as well, so... we're going to get here. A little bit of connector control established from PA. Chop taking some damage on the spam there. Oh, assembling the boost? That would be risky at this juncture. Go for it late, though. Utility to set it up, and there it is. That's beautiful sequence from Evil Geniuses. You set up the utility to make the player in water uncomfortable, and then you peek not to kill the water player, but to peek the door. Ah, it's really nicely done there from Evil Geniuses. What a way to give yourselves the 5v4.
Great little flash, too.
Talk about that mortar shot, though, there, Boggs.
That's an artillery strike. That's almost laser-like precision there. And there's the second follow-up. Night to HexT. Chop knew what was up, and he calls the bluff. HexT didn't believe there would be a second HE flying his way.
I think he threw
getting aggressive.
Both. That's actually so. Chop must have picked up the other one from his fallen teammate by the door, but all right, Junior, never mind. Let's focus in on the op, because this is everything that they need. Couple quick shots. And Grizz taking space out towards long, but Party Astronauts this time have seemed to be the ones who stalled out. Obviously being a little bit more patient this point in time. It's going to be a duel with automatic that Grizz has to deal with. He will be good for it. Means that Junior's now pinched. Very tough to get out of this angle of all things, but he will be good for it. Junior, oh, even trying to get the last kill brought through, but he has left a half health Grizz with only 10 seconds. Site choice is made for him. And out by the truck, Walco waits to deal the killing blow. Well done there from Junior.
That's a great play by Junior. Shotgun opping, aggressive in your face. And he makes it click on CS2. Timeout now called by the Party Astronauts as they're at another economic juncture where they can't really go all in. The CT economy is actually a little bit better now. It's not perfect. There's still a few players, 3 to be exact, that are, make it 4, that aren't really in the best economic situation. Junior at least has 3K. Walco at 1500's borderline, but HexT, Automatic, and Jeorge all kind of struggling for some cash. EG, though, do not want to fall into temptation. They don't want to go all in. But we're also getting to the late stages of this half. A 6th likely for EG, and a half buy coming forth from the Party Astronauts with a couple of pistols, a little bit of utility, and maybe something fast and furious with the pistols. Just run, gun, overwhelm, death ball tactics here with the flashes and the smokes. Dual bird is a late buy by Ben.
Yeah, it's tough without the armor, right? You're just going to get chewed up. But we have seen a lot of teams have success with the faster techie buys. Again, just the nature of Counter-Strike 2 right now. If you fly into a site and overwhelm and you pick the right spot, very tough to respond to if you're evil geniuses.
F1 peek it.
Not going to be the issue here. Oh, timing. Timing for Junior. Repositions at just the wrong moment. They're actually past the lip, and he may not expect it, but... oh, it could be a shish kebab shot. Gonna get the one. Has support from a rifler as well. Junior's able to hit another, and he will be the only casualty of the round. So Junior makes good for it. Nearly got timing, but a little too quick for that one.
He still got 2, and that's probably better than could be expected, reasonably, getting pistol rushed with an op. So he's showing his prowess at closer ranges again with the sniper. But Pone alone has 1 to try and counter it again. 2 more rounds to go. No, 3 more rounds to go at the end of this half. And no op for Pone alone. He sells it for rifle and utility. An interesting choice, but not necessarily an unwelcome one. It gives them a lot more freedom in how they want to move. A little more aggression, perhaps, to come forward here from the Party Astronauts. As Pone alone slips through to keep an eye on long through playground. Junior's op shot just forced out by that flash to fall away. And EG now getting a little bit of trace damage onto Walco from Chop. But no real contact been made by Party Astronauts. They'll peek out long now. Junior's got a prime opportunity as Jeorge falls. That's a distraction. Down goes Junior. And EG are dropping like flies. Party Astronauts have opened the map. And Automatic's walking right into the trap. There he goes.
That's a big 3rd kill on Automatic. The first 2 are kind of tendency punishes, which I'll explain in just a flash, because right now we've got the sight hit coming through. Flashbang will stall things out for a moment. And Hex makes good on it. Huge play from Hex, but it's not enough to get them back into the round. So, couple tendency punishes there for the Party Astronauts. They kill Jeorge on the boost up from B. We've seen EG run this 3 rounds. I think that was the 3rd, maybe the 4th round they run it this half. So PA are definitely looking for that, definitely looking to punish. EG may not find that so free anymore. And then it's just the nature of they're leaving Junior isolated in a lot of situations. Automatic was kind of close at hand, but Junior opted to go towards long that round instead, so he couldn't quite get in there for the trade. That works out beautifully for Party Astronauts. It's always going to be the risk of leaving an opera on an island, is, you know, that first shot, that first flash, whatever it is. Very tough to recover. Different look this time. Automatic Junior playing together once again and looking to answer to that long approach. This is another thing we've kind of seen from EG, is they're very reactive in terms of they always set up to address what happened last round, right? So this time it's the double long approach. We saw it with the 4-1 stacks that they were playing for a little while, where they're, you know, putting 4 into the site that was hit last, which is, of course, very reasonable. You want to address your weaknesses, your deficiencies. But Party Astronauts have not been repeating a lot of calls.
No, they've had a deep strat book, which is to be expected, given Ben Leet's affinity for the map as a whole. And Party Astronauts are mixing things up quite well. They're also getting a lot of information. They're probing, they're prodding, they're trying to play with evil geniuses and make them doubt their own decisions. Automatic now starting to clear up the playground. This is a telegraph hit. HexT does a good job to hold the line. He does get traded back, but the utility is holding. Walco is still here as well, playing around pit. Molotov's raging around the position. Jeorge tries to range. Hellfire from heaven. He only strikes for 2, but he's done a massive amount onto Ben as well. No bomb plant yet, although Ben will attempt that and will be successful here. But the retake is already set. Automatic through Monster, strikes from behind, and Pone alone, there's not really much he can do, barring a Herculean effort with the big green. A flank is in from Junior. He's blind as a bat. He will not survive momentarily. Down he falls. The off will be picked back up. Junior will get dropped that from his teammates. AKs on the remaining 2. And EG hold the line well, but it's that first from HexT that gives them a platform. And then that double up from Jeorge.
Yeah, Jeorge in heaven, man. Just no smoke for heaven. Nothing to call that out. No, flashes, mollies, anything. If you're not going to do that, obviously somebody needs to have responsibility for it, but there may have just been a fumble point. 3 players coming around the pillar, right? They're trying to get that bomb down, planted expeditiously, and it's just bit of an unfortunate window for the Party Astronauts, but EG are very happy to capitalize. And obviously for Jeorge, some snappy shooting as well to make sure that he's not just taking one there. But it does mean that EG are going to be escaping with an advantage out of this half, right? Again, this isn't their map pick. This is Party Astronauts trying to put the pressure on. At least so far, it's looked like a position of a lot of comfort. Uh-oh, it's back. You had your gun out. That's a kill. But setting up the nade, things go awry. And Ben Lee will lose his life as a result.
He ate a double nade from EG on the site, too. They were trying to counter some water control, and Ben bears the brunt of that, eventually getting spammed. That tendency punish trying to come through from PA this time ends up going against them.
Automatic creeping. Automatic might have the flank here quickly. Wrapping in towards the fountain. Junior holding the angle with the AWP. Don't think he spotted anyone just yet, but he is going looking. And now automatic strikes. Gets the flank on the first. Little fast and loose with the utility here, but he is harassing in a big way. And with that bomb down as well, Party Astronauts going to be a little frozen up here. They got to be careful because at this point, EG are going to try and encircle. And they're reading it nicely. Grizz won't be able to get anything done. The hit's coming in towards A, but look at the bodies on site and the connector control. Ooh, not expecting Bar to be out dice. That's an oversight, an overlook. And it's an 8th round to send us to the half. Half number 2 underway. And doubled up lead here for the Evil Geniuses. It was looking a little tentative in some of those early gun rounds, but EG sorting it out, getting some nice peaks off the boosts. And taking through 8 rounds. Question is, what's the defense going to look like for the Party Astronauts? And right now, very proactive here outside of B.
No real spot here on the long players. I don't think Ben saw this at all. There's no reaction, no rotation from PA. And the Evil Genius is on around the world. Look to be going into the stack here. Do they fall off when they make contact with 2 in water? Do they assume that's the bulk of the defense? All the noise coming through. They do clear out Pone alone, although he's able to get 2. How does he get 3? He's got 4. He's got 4 from pit, from water. He should have been done with 1, if that. The Glocks have all the advantage.
Should have been.
Taps away.
Little snappy shooting, little revenge for the first half, perhaps. You recall Automatic did much the same on their pistol. So maybe a little bit of a mirror being held up here, but let's see if Automatic finds some magic of his own. Takes the first. Isolated fight with the second. Still got time, 35 seconds. This is not done. And he's got some options. No information, so it's a question of the devil he knows versus that he does not. Door closes. Does that bait anyone into the rotation? Oh, smoke's bad. Smoke's bad. There's a gap, but Shop holds his nerve. Doesn't bite on the door. And so PA will get a much-needed pistol round off the back of Pone Alone's heroics.
30-year-old talent carrying the Young Bucks. Big round for Pone Alone and massive for Party Astronauts as it keeps them out of trouble, at least for a little bit longer. Technical pause has come through. And I'm not sure how long this one will persist for, but might not be too long of an issue. Doesn't look like we'll need any sort of match medic or anything, so there we are, back into the action. But Pone Alone has just got PA essentially within 2 rounds because EG should be saving here, Glocks out, and there's no excuse to lose into a Glock round like this. So Party Astronauts are right back in this Overpass matchup.
Shop's got an XM. What you gonna do with this, Chop? XM has been gaining mass favor. It is quite the smackaroni in the current meta.
So fun to play with.
It does feel satisfying. Just absolutely clap somebody with a bop bop of the auto shotty.
Although it's not usually just one.
They're going to take long control. This isn't being policed right yet, and it is Spec who's close enough. Unarmored players, SMP9 should chew through them like a hot knife through butter, but they are going to put the pressure on. Takes the first, the second, the third as well. Nicely done from Spec. Got the bomb confirmed, dropped. And here's Walco close at hand, so it's just a matter of time. They keep it clean, do Party Astronauts, as they look to build back into this game.
Yeah, 4 on Spec 2, that's a lot of cash. And he'll be happy with that. Couple Galils already coming out from Evil Geniuses, so they can get extra utility up in this round. No op for Junior. Definitely no op for Pone Alone. It's a bonus round and a full bonus, too, for the Party Astronauts. Ben not even going all the way in. Famas in his hands. And EG have to be careful here. If they lose this round or win this round with only 1 or 2 players alive, Party Astronauts have such a strong position to churn back and restore parity of the scoreline. One might get aggressive too. Peak sprays. Does not hang around too long. It's a good little hit and fade tactic, but both Spec and Pone Alone leaving Con wide open to the exploits of the Evil Geniuses. To a 3-2 split A site bolstered. Interesting call here, and a double up long side as well.
Just one full focusing it. They're ready for the smoke fade to be the big problem. But EG aren't ready to commit just yet. A little bit of duel out towards long, a little bit of flirtation here. Obviously, you don't want to take this fight with an MP9 if you're Pwn alone. You're just trying to get information. And right now what they're doing is they're whittling time off the clock. We got 45 seconds, and EG have a lot of control around the map. But not a lot of specific space.
They don't even have the bomb in possession yet. Finally, at 35, they grab it.
Yeah, they're going to be shifting their way towards A. They're making their commit. They're giving up that B space. Actually, it's been ran wrong, but Spec doesn't care. Ben Leet strikes as well. This is a big problem now. Jeorge out towards long might be the skeleton key to open things up, but having not seen the bomb, no one's rotating just yet. But the bomb, it's in the hands of Automatic. He's going to clear his corner, but not well enough. That should be the round. There's just not enough time for Jeorge to work here. They've got that bomb confirmed, and even if Jeorge can hit this first shot, he's got to try and get this bomb back to site. There just aren't enough seconds on the clock, so he'll have to watch this one slip away. Huge round from Spec. They just could not dig him out of the divider.
Yeah, Spec just absolutely massive there on the MP9. Shuts down the full buy of EG. Jeorge has to fight his way to stay alive. He does manage that. That was the bonus round for the Party Astronauts, and they convert that with relative ease. They still have an MP9. They still have the XM on chop. An op now for Pwn alone, but money looking great for the CT side. Just that AK for Jeorge, and half-bought pistols around him. A couple of vests coming through. P250s, a block, and utility for Junior. It's a poor round for the evil geniuses as far as weaponry is concerned. Party Astronauts 1 away from the tie score. Chop up close on Monster 2 in a great spot to shut them down as they waltz on in. Let that auto shot.
Deleted. Deleted. Flashbang's good. This is a problem now. Grizz under pressure. Now the XM's in the wrong hands, and Hex making himself some money with it, playing gun game, getting an upgrade here, and Hex might do it all himself. 3 big kills on Pwn alone, bailing the heck out of there, trying to save this AWP. He finally invested into the big green, and I mean, look what it's cost him. Junior's looking. Junior's looking to get his hands on this. Oh, and he'll be able to do so. Talk about an upgrade. Talk about flipping the script here. Evil geniuses. It's all about Automatic with that P250.
And then you got HexT going out. I thought they removed arms race from the game.
There you go.
They brought it back. New patch line. HexT only. P2
Scout's knives.
XM.
What is Scout's knives going to be like on subtick? Maybe that's why it's not in the game.
I don't even want to know. That's a horrifying thought. It's
know.
very Halloween appropriate, Mike. It's a horror show.
Speaking of spooky, Party Astronaut's got to be feeling some kind of way. Grizz will be the one who gets the short end of the stick onto the Deeg here. Cannot lose this round if you're PA.
Uh-oh.
The peek over. Did Chop?
Oh, he saw
What?
him.
Saw him?
Well, Walco saw him, I think. They know.
A little bit of an odd interaction there, but it is a 4-man stack here over towards B. The spam finding damage. Walco on notice, and seeing this much presence, EG is going to shift it up. Going up top, and Spec is left alone, and he is under so much pressure. Flashed out, dropped down. No heroics from Spec this time. Little self-nade nearly takes out Walco, but it will be a-okay. I suspect this is going to turn into some degree of save, though Ben Leet has committed one of the few rifles. Flash found 1 kill. They trade it back more than in kind. Bomb down. Pwn alone left to try and save an AWP once more. And EG taken very close to a win here.
They've got the double digits now. It's going to be the save from Grizz and Pwn alone. Don't think there's going to be much of a hunt here from EG, although Automatic's starting to probe. He's probably the least apt to go for an actual final hunt, though, given he has the least amount of money in the team. But keeping the guns up in hand here for EG is of paramount importance. Don't give a free AK over to Grizz. He's only on the Deagle, and they know that. So for EG, a couple successful rounds in a row. Party Astronauts cannot withstand the onslaught. And their money in a very bad spot. Only the op of Pwn alone to get anything going. Well, Pwn alone might be able to pot 4 with a pistol. I don't know if he's going to be able to do the same with the big green gun up against a full buy of AKs. The op to counter him from Junior. Doesn't even have the proper fountain spawn either. Can go for it with the flash peek, but doesn't have that spawn advantage, and it's a disadvantageous peek down to B for him too. The one hope, maybe get that op going aggressive somewhere, get that opening pick, surge pistols around, recover that gun, and try and give HexT a taste of his own medicine. This strat's out the window. And they're going to send the op to boost into water, and it falls off so quickly that it could've worked.
They actually had the right idea. They're just really nervous. You're super exposed to somebody coming up connector, right? So that was just trying to go for the quick pick and bail. But they might have caught somebody if they had a little bit more patience with that one. I don't mind the idea of trying to maximize the AWP. It's just didn't commit fully to the bit. It's possible as well he's just fallen off the boost, and it's a bit of a tricky one to hold. Didn't have the angle he was looking for. Couldn't tell you. What
Maybe
I can tell you,
something, or thought he did.
not finding it is going to be tough because they're headed towards A right now, and the only defender is Spec with a smoke, a USP, and a prayer.
And I don't think that smoke landed where he wanted to either. He's going to have to move around the dice box, and he cannot escape. Dancy Mighty shut down by HexT, who's holding up and jump up. Smoke drops down, and bomb will be planted momentarily as smokes obscure the vision all across the site. The op from Poland should be nowhere near this site. It should be as far away as possible, where it's still safe to hide, find safe harbor. He's backing away already with Chop in tow. In towards Graffiti. This might end up being a bit of a fight for survival, although EG have secured their exit out towards T-spawn. So that should be their way through. Grizz gifted an opportunity, but denied the satisfaction.
There's always a bit of an interesting question, which is how much do you want to hunt in this kind of a round? Not so much because you fear the other side, but because it's, okay, what's the gain of killing all the USPs versus the risk of giving them an extra AK? So that's the value proposition that you're asking if you're EG. They're a team that tends to veer on the side of conservative with economic choices anyway. So they just, a little bit of a fight, a little bit of a peek over, little kill exchange, no guns given over, no harm, no foul. Let them have the op, see what they can do with it in this one. But if you're party astronauts now, it's decision time, right? You don't even have enough to put an ideal buy around this, but you can certainly put a very, very good buy around it. But you got to do something. You got to do something because this is your last chance. You are putting everything into this. It's all bet on black. You either need this round or you need a really damn good save to fight for overtime.
They're going to need something special here. And this round has to be the foundation of the Party Astronauts comeback, or EG are going to run away with a pick of the Party Astronauts. It is a lot more contentious this time around than the only other time these two teams have met on CS2. A 13-1 EG victory back around the time of the game swap, as mentioned in the pre-show, Mike. But Party Astronauts not looking to fare much better as far as the win-loss column is concerned. Unless they can flip things around here. Nade does not do anything. Spec falls away from the initial flash over of T-Con. And EG all bulked up around B. Nade onto the boost. There's nobody there. 3 stack down towards the site. Grizz around Toxic, Chop, and Ben. Site proper. Ben could go down here. HexT is peeking around. Flash in. He does not clear bridge. But somehow, someway, everyone's alive until Grizz can pop through. Walco 1 for 1. Ben lead establishes the lead again. Still fighting. Nade is good, but needs a little bit more. Chop down to Graffiti. Rotation down to Door. Open Molotov will allow a bomb plant here for automatic Jeorge and Junior. Minimal utility left to hold. Just 2 smokes left. The flash goes through and automatic stuck on site. No escape and less HP.
Just kind of committing into it. Okay, gonna re-smoke to get out of there. Curious on that decision. Shot gonna burn alive, but smoke certainly mean he's still covered off. Nice shot from Junior. This is starting to look good in the post plan. Need another one, but Junior's got it. He's good for it. He's collecting. It all falls to Jeorge. Cheeky spot, taking that ground on top. Oh, and he's pulled Pone alone off. There's no time. He just needs 1 bullet, and he knows it. And there's nothing Pone can do with that. With 1-on-1, a clutch from Jeorge. We will see map point on the board for the Evil Geniuses. They just need to knock through one of these next 5, and look at what's arrayed against them in this. They bet everything, did Party Astronauts. They got nothing, surviving out of the round, and now MP9's FOMI to try and keep them fighting here on their own map pick.
Well, you said they had a bet on black, and Mike, they were EG white after all.
Hey! Bada bing, bada boo. I like it.
This is gonna be scrappy though.
It's gotta be. You gotta do something. Specs out towards tree. Haven't really played that yet. Gets nothing. Gets nothing. Damage is not good enough here. Spec, not by a long shot. So now they're in real trouble. Yeah, Walco and Junior are limping, but 5v3 for your map fate on the line. A smoke, a single flash, and 1 HE in addition to the guns in hand. That's what they got to work with here.
That is far from ideal for Party Astronauts. Already lost that one FAMAS, only one left, and when that is your proper rifle, it's not a good sign. Tag from the Hex, but still a lot more to come. Jeorge with a nice little headshot to trade out Walco. That was that player, Dead Man walking zombie mode for Walco. Ben goes down with a crispy little burst, and Chop in a 1v4. There is no way Chop can bring this back. One smoke, no kit, and the bomb can work its way to a wide open site. Might even get caught by HexT here as Chop starts to work into bathrooms.
Well, let's
adjusting for the potential
Might have a
lane
timing.
flank.
He's got a timing on this first player. Patience on it.
Knife?
No, you can't risk that at this point. The money doesn't matter. It's all about the round win. Wanted to see if he could get another kill. This isn't done. Time's an issue. 1v2 now. Chop, what can you do with the AK now found? Both players over on this side. Nate's going to deal some damage. They're going to swing. Double swing together. Taking the initiative there. Nice from EG. Nice reaction. No panic. They take control and they secure it. For a moment there, Chop had me believing. But that second half was all Evil Geniuses. They're looking good. Obviously, they had some good economic breaks as well in terms of breaking the PA money.